It sounds one-sided, but apparently it isn't. A shout out to Dramis, who had not a bad tournament, actually. Again, possibly could have been better, but at the same time, I think there probably weren't even expectations of Dramis from most people in the tournament, but I think he showed improvements, and I think he should be proud.
Prepare to fight.
Yeah, I think K1llsen, K1llsen, Rafa, and Razy are probably the main guys. But Hron also pretty damn close behind, I'd say. Shout out to Hron. Anyway, we start this Pillars spawn for K1llsen. We've got Nyx and Doom. Kind of an interesting matchup. Double jump, wall jump. Slight stack advantage, escapability versus escapability. Yeah, it's an interesting clash. And finally, K1llsen's going to get himself on a big weapon. And he's going to leave. He wants rockets, but as soon as he heard Dramis over there, he just doesn't want anything to do with it. Cypher and Knorr are anywhere near the top 10 right now. Fact. Good ledge grab. This is still going to be an early game. Round 2, remember. I don't know who Dramis played before this, but K1llsen played Brick beforehand. No offense to Brick, but probably wasn't the toughest warm-up for K1llsen. I really don't know of a nicer way to put it. Oh, that combo was nasty. I think after that combo, he didn't even need to go Ghost Walk, but he just did it so fast. Like, he wouldn't have even registered whether or not he did damage at that point. Two rails in a row is pretty brutal. Ooh, okay. The Dramis is a good defensive shot. That's actually pretty tasty. K1llsen can't go for the rail there because he's got no ammo left on it. And the reason I will definitely put Razy in that mix, Vinley, is because Razy didn't drop a single series to a European player during the group stage. There was not a single European that he lost to. And if that doesn't make him a top player, then one of the top players in the world, then I don't know what does. No, Brick's lovely. We're lovely to each other. Still like touchy-feely with each other. Little bit of damage. No overcommitments at the moment. It was that fight over by Pillars that was the closest where Dramis had that nice defensive rail. Because Ron only lost to one American player and that player was from Canada. Yeah, that's actually true. That's the game he really should have won. Well played to Chain for that. Oh, did Ron lose to Dahang? Okay, Dramis is fighting back strong, actually. Even though he's positionally under pressure, he's still delivering the shots that he needs to. Which is still a little bit sketchy, because getting railed there, you do not want to be trading out so much damage. Oh, wow. Okay, that is super sick from Dramis. Sometimes you're not able to build yourself a lot of opportunities versus players like K1llsen, so if you do something like that and you execute the LG to rail combo, then that is hot. That's really hot. Very aggressive play from K1llsen. He's only got... Oh god, no, Dramis. Terrible weapon to have out, and he gives that up. That's a big, big no-no from Dramis. He had the LG. We could see that he was fighting with the LG. Like, there's no problem with him having the weapon out, but... Again, these are mistakes you need to be totally eliminating from your game if you want to get to that next level. Because not only do you give up a fight like that, even if you lose the fight when you have the right weapon out, at least you're going to get that extra 100 damage in. 150 damage. However much damage it is. It's better than a missed rail and then getting a tickle of LG and dying. But still, K1llsen's respecting a little bit. Because Dramis has made some nice plays this game. So you can't just try and walk all over him. You might be able to now, though, with that rail. That's a really good entry point to the fight. I like this, but I also like what Dramis did for a moment. But he's going to get caught out now. Wow, he actually gets the defensive shots off. He's weak, though. He's very weak. He's probably got himself the lower light armor. And he's got himself some health. Yeah, indeed, Finley's Crazy's the best clutch player in the world.
Now you see me. Now you don't.
He's very good on it. Aggressive push there. He's still got the rockets out for a second. Why the rail? I'm getting so upset seeing Dramis with the rail out. But he's still hitting ridiculous shots. Oh god. That happens to me too much.
Face it.
Very sketchy there. Yeah, you can see like K1llsen's body language. He's not executing on shots that he thinks he should be landing. His LG was all over the place. Rockets made no sense. I mean, he is kind of crappy there. And Dramis' damage output was more than I'd expect from him. It was very good. And this is kind of a harsh place to be in as well. He's heard Heavy come up, but he's also heard Dramis up at the top. And he's on balance, he's like, right, I want to go for Heavy. I want to take no damage up to picking Heavy. And it's kind of gone better than he's even hoped for. Oh, I don't think he wanted to overstep that. I think he wanted to stay on catwalk. That rocket there was just to block him from the items. And you saw he hit 60 to 70 damage with it, but the follow-up wasn't too difficult. So, although that rocket looked like it was miles off from hitting him, it was not meant to go for that. It was purely meant to restrict him from picking up those that light armor. So Dramis now trying to just protect a lead of one frag with a minute and a half to go. Versus a Nyx, that's pretty tricky to do. Because at some point soon, K1llsen's going to want to gamble with some Ghost Walk plays. He needs to figure out, he needs to get some kind of information on where Dramis is though. That's like the hardest thing is for him right now. He should have just heard him. It's Heavy and Rocket Jump, I think. Oh my god, that rail mid-rocket jump. That kills 20 seconds at least. But I don't know why he's so close. He should have stayed over rocket side. Going LG on LG. Too risky for me too risky for Dramis. Or for me, actually. If he stays over by rocket, then he's got all the space that he needs to, and he doesn't have to clutch out some rockets at all to retain his control.
Now you don't.
Right now it's again running. We had an aggressive ghost walk. K1llsen couldn't find anything from it. And now Dramis needs to GTFO. But he keeps hitting like these really clutch rails. But he shouldn't have to hit clutch rails is the thing. He should be able to close out from these positions just by running and with some fadeaway rockets. 10 seconds now. And he's still trying to lock it down for every last moment. So that K1llsen's not going to be happy with that. I love that he's so expressive as well. Also, I watched the Thorin video he made about Quake is back on the menu, which is quite an interesting watch. I think he nails a pretty much all the points. I think he needs to watch more to understand how some of the pro players have developed, but I kind of agree with a lot of the statements he made. But okay, we got 1-0 for Dramis. I'm going to try and update the score so you can see up at the top. So K1llsen's now switched. It's okay, Dramis got it right.
Prepare to fight. Round begins in 3, 2, 1.
Alright, let's go into map 2.
Fight.
Oh, never mind. They're not entirely certain. They're trying to figure it out. Were these guys sat next to each other during it? I think they might have been, actually. The thing is, these guys picked everything the day before these matches, so they're like trying to remember everything when everything's noted down on paper. It's got nothing to do with whether Thorin's busy or not. It's just like he just needs to have time to watch it at some point. If he wants to watch it, he wants to watch it. But I think commenting too much on players' current shape is just not worth doing until you have. These are very normal Quake chairs, though. QuakeCon chairs to have, though, Claw. Feels like it's been like that. Even when they're at the Hilton Anatole, it feels like it's been that way the whole time. Anyway, now we're in the right champions.
3.
If we can go into it.
1. Fight.
We'll continue watching K1llsen, of course. Heavy spawn. Always a fun spawn to have. A lot of the time you see the algae spot controlled. When you've got piercing sight, you can maybe try and apply pressure from a different side. That's quite a nice little counter move from Dramis, actually. I think this time K1llsen's not going to try and let him get away with some of the slightly over-aggressive pushes. Oh, that rail is so fast, man. Those are the K1llsen rails we love. And a great held angle from him. Just very good read in general. Knowing that's one of the main aggression points that could be used. Yeah, flawless stuff there. Dramis would have heard the piercing sight, But at some point, you just hope, I hope he misses that first piercing sight rail, even though the chances are lowered. That's a sick rail, actually. I don't know how Dramis hit that angle. That was incredibly tight. Hi, Sting B. So now K1llsen's kind of neutralized the stacks. Now we can start thinking about this heavy. I think he's trying. Has he got timing on the mega? Do I really know why there was a splish splashing sound there? I thought he was just shift walking. Oh, he looks the wrong way for a moment. Wow, Dramis might get this. He doesn't keep LG out. Whereas they're both as low as each other then. Both incredibly low. Oh man, that's so close. He was railable there. Very weird weapon choice. I don't like that. If someone's going to run at you like this, rockets would have been a far nicer weapon to have out. It really does look like K1llsen's still warming up to the tournament. Because if you compare this kind of performance to what he was doing on the Sunday, totally different beast. Wow. Again, Dramis is just like clutching super hard. And yeah, he should just get out of there. We can't. Unreal, actually. You just gotta be so careful walking into these open angles when you're low on health. Unfortunately, neither of those rails were close to hitting. Yeah, do the full Puri and just rail at all. No, don't rail always. Dramis is kind of hitting rails when he needs to, but you want to be in control. You don't want to be playing from behind. Was Mega just take? I think it might have been. I like this. Opportunistic, but good. Painful to watch K1llsen play. His aim's so jerky. Yeah, it is. I think he's well known for that. Where his crosshair control or mouse control is just really unique compared to a lot of pros.
Balls out.
Well, that was not a bad shot at all, actually. I do like this rocket jump up because the items are synchronized and K1llsen knew it. Wow. I think K1llsen's nod there is like, yeah, I respect that. I respect that shot. Because that was a very nice rail from Dramis. Like the rails that Dramis are landing sometimes are world class. They absolutely are world class. But his plays are just tinted with a lot of like naive pushes, should I say. Where he just needs to review games and you know, see where he could improve on that. So big thanks to Spud Hunter as well, man, for the gifted sub to Maggie. I appreciate you, Spud. Thanks very much. Hope your travels went well. Oh, we've got an orb to come back up. There's still plenty of stack left for K1llsen. Dramis probably the one slightly weaker, but he is going to get the heavy. And Dramis is just going to get the hell out of there. Yeah, you're not going to be able to do much about those rockets. It's almost better if he didn't fire there. But there's no orb for him to worry about, so it's just an easy kill eventually. Nice little drive by. Oh, if he had LG out. LG and it's a free kill. It was kind of free anyway. It was not that free because he took a lot of damage, but it was, you know, kind of free. Free. Oh my god, man. There was a chance. That K1llsen's like sad that he didn't go for the rail. He's like, he could have got... Because his read was absolutely spot on just then, but he didn't deliver. Is there like a bit of lag? Feels like stream lag at the moment. Dramis has got work to do, and things have just been a little bit chaotic for him. He's getting some okay rail angles, but K1llsen's just playing incredibly solidly. And everything that Dramis was doing to him on Blood Covenant, it seems to be generally mitigated. Yeah, there's no way Dramis should be going through portals like that on low HP. At that stage, it's just hoping. And if you have to hope that your opponent's not there, and it's not an educated guess, then it's probably a bad idea. You can't always know where your opponent is, but if you've got like a read on them and you're like, I don't think they're far from there, then maybe then. Oh, he is kind of weak at the moment. Small chance for Dramis, but he's also going to be weak. He's got to just push him. And now just to chill. You've got the win, essentially. Just need to slow down combat. Yeah, so Dramis shouldn't really come close now. And Dramis has got to put himself out of position, massively so now. If you're not dying at least like 2 more times, then you're playing this wrong. You have to be super aggressive. Pie Hero. Dramis won Blood Covenant versus him. There was 3-2, I believe. You mean what happened to him on the final day, Spud? He shit the bed. That's what happened. Dramis, get down and dirty. Go on. Doesn't matter if you got 1 health or 100. Just do it. I haven't reviewed any Sunday games yet. I might do that later down the line, but at the moment I'm focusing on group day games. Which are probably going to be like what my next 8 streams are about. Oh yeah, that's a comfortable victory for K1llsen. He should be happy with that one. He should have played like that in the first map. But he seemed to be a lot more in control of everything. There was some over-aggressive plays again. Like, I don't even think that Dramis played that much differently to how he played on Blood Covenant. It's just he wasn't able to turn these aggressive plays into like frags or into control on this occasion. Focus on reviewing my own casting. Oh yeah. I'm reviewing the whole series, Pie Hero. If I'm doing a map of any sort in a series, I just assume that I'm doing the entire series. I'm not sure what map we're going to next though, but it'll be the tiebreaker. I'll be honest though, guys. I personally was quite happy with my commentary. And I really, I can't express how much I enjoyed casting with DJ Wheat. It's honestly, I'm not being, I don't know, a drama person, but it was like a dream come true casting with DJ Wheat. Like, I could not believe that I had the opportunity to do it. But I really wanted to make sure that I was stepping up because I hadn't done that much commentary in a while. So I was really nervous to just make sure that my game was on point when casting. It's great for 63 years old. Roof, as the Americans would say.
Prepare to fight.
By Hero, I hope we'll see you in a Challenger League in NA, man. I really, really hope for it. I see no reason why you can't get up there. They keep messing up their maps and stuff. Exactly as he said so, Gecko, right? Oh, he didn't say that. I think he said that to me in the green room. He was like, yeah, I was like riding a bike, right? Or at least I hope. So it was the exact phrase that he used. It starts at the end of August, Killing UT. I think it should be like 24th, 25th of August. 24th, 25th of August at IPEX. I don't know about Challenger League, but I'm pretty sure it's starting simultaneously.
Prepare to fight.
No idea. Knocked it. Just is. It just
Round
is.
begins in 3, 2, 1. Fight.
Okay, guys, we're now into the next map. We've got BJ going versus Sword, which is a very interesting matchup, to be fair. High stack versus high DPS. I do enjoy that we're seeing these matchups, even though I slightly disagree with the format of champion picks and bans. I like what it's given us. The output is cool. The dual wield's good just for protecting the mega health. It's not even about doing damage right there. It's about getting Dramis to get the hell away from him. And now Dramis has got a tricky solution. He kind of needs some entry damage before committing to this heavy. And he doesn't let it happen. Wow, he's still... Yeah, he's mad about that. He knows that that should be a fight one. Because Dramis was, like, in over his head sticking around. And in fairness to him, he hit some good LG. And he did get that switch to rocket right at the end, I think. Maybe my short-term memory is terrible, but... For someone who committed to the heavy when maybe he shouldn't have, it was not a bad move. Dude, K1llsen's LG there went... Like, that's the only way that I can audibly describe what happened, because it was just... shaking. Sounds so much... That is unreal. How much damage he did with a heavy machine gun and Dramis still didn't go down. Wow. Oh my god, the rail. K1llsen's mad, man. Quite possibly, we'd see. Alright, he's found him low. He took him down. Fair enough. Still work to do, though. Like, Dramis, if he doesn't have weapons, he needs to chill. Like, I don't entirely know why he's there. Why are you risking your game on these little fights? He's got to be... he needs to have been avoiding fights. So K1llsen's almost back in the game. If Dramis can slow things down, this is his best option right now. He needs to hit some entry damage. Damage exchanges aren't necessarily bad as well for Dramis. But look at this. K1llsen's really in a sticky situation. Passive isn't going to bring him up enough. That's kind of a sick challenge from Dramis. He did enough damage in the fight beforehand. I'm finding it difficult to gauge what his stack is as Sorlag, but he had the Mega up there. He manages to get the ledge grab to be successful. But he needs to run right now. Which bit, Pie Hero? I'm gonna do that after. It's a nasty rocket. Yeah, write down what you want to see, Pie Hero, and I'm gonna go through that after the map's actually finished. And I'll see if I can do it, because at the moment I feel like I'm half commentating. Are you not tired of taking tribal damage? I like the use of the acid spit though that we've gotten from Dramis. I think he's landed pretty much every single one, but I don't understand why he's running into the LG room and then deciding, oh, this fight doesn't favor you, and then get out. You need to know that whether a fight is going to favor you or not, well before it even starts. You have to anticipate what can possibly happen. And I feel like Dramis is only really understanding his chances during the fight, like after he started them. K1llsen having to just deal with that. That spit.
5-minute warning.
Oh, the horrible mouse control from K1llsen was horribly good then. It's going to be interesting to analyze K1llsen more as well with that mouse control. I wonder if more and more people will look into it and try to replicate it. Again, Dramis, I don't know why he's there. There's a lot of very weird fights. That the acid spit is good over time, but it's not like great instant damage. There's free LG damage. Like, Dramis is totally off the map right now. He needs to be not seen for ages. So this is some good defensive rockets from him. And it's a good read from K1llsen, but the thing is, it's the difference between, do I want to oh my god, he messed up there. It's the difference between denying a light armor or denying the Mega. Through the legs. Because again, you're like running into a room when you just shouldn't be. Off the spawn. There's a Walden where... Oh, it's so spicy, dude. If you wanted the rail kill just for style points there, rockets would have been the better choice straight away. It's gone to the point where I think K1llsen feels like he's starting on him. Alright, this game is, even though it's 9-5, it doesn't really feel close right now. Again, Dramis is caught out. It's happened way too often. Well, Dramis needs to get stacked first. Then he needs to go. He had some okay fights earlier. But they're not going to be more than okay if he just keeps exposing himself. I think I'd expect K1llsen to feel like he can coast to the end of this game. He doesn't need to do anything crazy. He just needs to make sure that he's exchanging fairly on the damage. Which he doesn't do there, but with the heavy to pick up afterwards, it feels a bit less like he got hit with a rail. Okay, very good read of the rocket. Doesn't overcommit to the rail angle. Make sure that he can find a way out. And now Dramis is in a lot of trouble. What just happened there to K1llsen? He made like a switch, but like nothing happened. Fair play to Dramis. Maybe that stack differential is enough for him. I'll try and go back to these points after. If anyone's got timestamps, like Pyro, if you've got timestamps of when you want to go back, then let me know. I think one was like around 3 minutes. Dramis is giving himself a fighting chance. His aim has been good. And with that natural stack advantage, he's constructing something from it.
1 minute warning.
Time to die.
K1llsen nodding. Now he's just desperate for frags. It's in the last minute. You're kind of just doing things because you need to. Again, it's like the main reason this happened. The only way it fluctuates in terms of when you want to make those aggressive pushes at the end of the game, basically to determine how far behind you are. The wrong weapon to have out just then, but he shakes his head just because he knows he shouldn't have had the rail out. Just using it in the last seconds. Doesn't need it. Well, it's just a fun little last second deterrence. Oh, 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys, I'm back. All right, let's go back and have a look at the, like, try and find that 3.5 minutes in. Because there was a weird put. It was when he was in the lead, I think. So Dramis is still in the lead now. Let's see what he could do in this instance to hold his lead. It's a shame that I don't have the exact like stack information on Dramis, because that would help a lot. But this point here, I think Dramis might win this fight, but K1llsen drops with dual wield LG. You're doing, what is this, like 1.4, 1.6 times regular damage. Dramis is, let's actually go back a little further, because I want to get a feel for what kind of stack Dramis has in this instance, because then it'll help tell me a bit more. Alright, so he's going to be fresh spawn, which is like 125, 100. And now we're waiting for this mega up, and then not too long after it's going to happen. So for the time being, Dramis' stack stays solid. And he's just running around getting what he can. Now K1llsen's got a really nice stack. With that light armor below, he's like hot stuff right now. Really hot stuff. He wants this rocket ammo up. So Dramis should be full natural right now. So what is that? 100, 125? So we've got the drop down. So that fight, K1llsen feels ahead because he's got the dual wield. Dramis is getting in to get the heavy armor. But he rushes the heavy armor. Now, when someone's playing above and you're rushing the heavy, one of the first things to watch out for is that guy spamming rockets. He didn't have enough time there to realize that, okay, the drop is happening. The drop and the LG is happening that soon. He just rushes in. K1llsen probably could have been a little more defensive here, but I also think that it's usually players don't commit like that around the heavy armor. Then there's a push up here. So Dramis, I reckon he would have been something like 70 or 80 HP and over 100 armor still at this point. So he's pushing up here. He's an easier target to hit. And K1llsen may be feeling that because he catches him up the bounce pad that he's going to have an advantage and he can get the kill before that mega health spawn and get that good knockback going. But Dramis actually executes pretty well with his lightning gun then. So if I'm looking at the stacks, that kind of feels like those are the plays made. So there would probably be little to no armor for Dramis. He might have got himself a light. Right now his stack's not doing that badly. But he's going to go over and he's going to get himself some items. And now at this stage, stacks are either tied or there's an advantage. Okay, there's definitely an advantage for K1llsen. There might have been some armor on Dramis, but he clearly was no health at all. Yo, cheers for the raid, Ash. Hope you're well from the post-QuakeCon blues. Okay, he's fighting off starting spawn. Well, where did that last kill happen? Let's go back there. Okay. So is that the teleporter exit after this, wasn't it? I just don't know why he went through the teleporter. I think that's risky. Like, he's vulnerable to a multitude of things. I don't think he necessarily would have known that K1llsen didn't have the railgun at this point. Yeah, he's still pushing an angle where he'd be vulnerable to that. There's the rockets that can go versus him. It just feels like a very weird place to go for Dramis. And now K1llsen's a frag behind. He outstacks Dramis, clearly. Dramis has probably got a good idea now that he doesn't have rail, if that's not what he's poking him with. This push in here, again, it doesn't make sense. At best, you've got a tied stack, or like close to a tied stack. You're moving in, desperate for that lightning gun if you hadn't picked it up already, or just extra ammunition. You just can't do that. You've got to wait. You've got to listen for those sound cues, and you've got to have an understanding of what K1llsen's objective is in that instance. Because as soon as he drops there, K1llsen's like, right, well, I can get some damage, and if my shots go well, I can get a kill. There's no chance that Dramis can get a kill, because K1llsen's got an exit route right behind him. When he drops down, he's still got an exit route, because now Dramis is going towards the machine gun spawn, and yeah, it's just a really, really, like, overly aggressive play. Like, if you're going in for fights, but you're not more than 80% sure that you're going to win, then you need to make sure you've got an escape route of some sort. If you dive into the center of the room, then you don't have an escape. And if your movement's getting manipulated by enemy rockets, then, like, what can you really do? Like, not much. But anyway, I was more trying to analyze, like, what Dramis could have done there, but he just needed to slow the game down. Like, he wanted to play a fast game, but I don't think that's something that works against K1llsen. I think he excels at playing against players who want to play like that, generally. And you need to, like, slow him down. Then attack at the right time. Speed it up when you've actually built an advantage, rather than playing on 50-50s, which is kind of what it feels here. And in that instance as well, it was like a 60-70% chance for K1llsen to win that situation. 220 to 235. Let's go back to that then. It's not far ahead. I might have gone over that already, but let's go over. We can see if there's... Alright, what happened on the way up to here? Okay, so K1llsen's low. Dramis is going to have a stack advantage off the spawn. Now he's on banana. Like there, he shouldn't have gone. I don't even know if he dies here. Does he die? Like he moves into the LG room, and again he's going for these 50-50 fights. He had to stay away. Right there, it's not even like high risk, high reward. It's simply high risk, because the reward for getting the kill there is getting going 5-2, but being with super low HP off the spawn and having the opportunity for K1llsen to return to him like immediately. He shouldn't have been challenging for it, in my opinion. So what he got in that room is he got the light armor, he had the algae to fight with. Let's go back a few moments, if possible, and try and figure out, like, at what point did he actually start firing? So there's going to be a light taken here. There's going to be mega, so he was doing a bit of machine gun damage. You can see the stack now. At this point, he's still not doing damage. K1llsen's not doing damage either. He's fired a rocket off. This point still, there's a rocket coming towards him. He still hasn't really started doing damage. K1llsen's doing probably more damage to himself with rockets. And only now is he starting to look at doing damage. Like, it was a super sloppy fight from K1llsen. He probably should have got the kill with even more health advantage. Whereas Dramis didn't start fighting there until he got the lightning gun. Would have been a better option to take armor and double back down Banana. I think if he doubled back behind to Banana, then he wouldn't have been able to maintain his momentum. If he really wanted the light armor and he wanted to get away, the best thing for him to do was probably go around elbow and then block off the teleporter with his own rockets so that K1llsen would have a hard time chasing. I think that's like... Oh, he possibly didn't even have rockets. So he would need to get to the rocket launcher before he could even defend. So really, like, his main move is to not go into that room at all, slow the game down, and retain a lead. Because there's nothing really that goes wrong with just retaining the lead at this stage. He'll maintain a natural stack. He can get himself over to the railgun, and he can chill a bit. He has to wait on Banana, though, for K1llsen to make a move. Does he commit around on the tri-bolt? Does he commit around over the other side? K1llsen clearly committed around tri-bolt, but he only committed as hard as he did because Dramis committed to the LG. So yeah, I feel like you should just stay back in this instance. The solution isn't always to fight and to show how brave you are in a duel. A lot of more successful games will happen if you can change the gears harder. Whereas Dramis, I felt, was just leaning on the side of just a little too aggressive throughout the series. Yo, Jason, thanks very much for the host, man. If he still had a split, maybe he would have stayed in Banana. Yeah, if he had the split still, then defending would have been a little easier. But I think he just had to chill. Because he can get away. The thing is, if K1llsen starts doing it... If K1llsen fires off... Wait, does he even have a rail? He doesn't have a rail. He doesn't have LG. It's really difficult for K1llsen to force a fight in this instance. He has to catch him with a rocket, like, on the opposite side to prevent him from getting away. It's... I don't know. It's just a very, very weird fight to do. To make, to force, whatever the phrase is.